Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all, guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps, and close our eyes. When you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Excellent. And next we'll do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we can begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low. Touch our toes. Back up high one more time. And this time, can we go tippy-toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave side to side. Excellent, guys. And then back down to touch your toes again. Stand up straight and shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. Now hands on hips and wiggle side to side. Stop. Another wiggle side to side. Stop. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. Then we can go round and round. Give our spines a nice stretch, round and round. Excellent, guys. And then we go back the other way. Round and round the other way. Very good. And then let's have another stretch. Arms and legs, shake it out. And to finish, we can do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So welcome to today's math lesson. But what we're going to do to begin is we're going to recap the previous lesson. And can anybody remember what we were learning how to do in the previous lesson? Correct. Well done, guys. Well remembered. We were learning to draw rectangles. So let's write that phrase on the board first. Drawing, D-R-A-W-I-N-G. And rectangles, R-E-C-T-A-N-G-L-E-S. So all together, guys, drawing rectangles. And in the previous lesson, we learned how to draw a special type of rectangle. What shape did we learn to draw in the last lesson, guys? Square. Yes, we learned how to draw a square. Now, how many sides does a square have? 4 sides. Well remembered. 4 sides. And how many sides of the same length? All sides of the same length. That's what differentiates a rectangle from a square. A rectangle, remember, 4 sides, but opposite sides of the same length, whereas squares have 4 sides and all sides of the same length. Both of them are quadrilaterals, but the squares have 4 sides and all sides same length. That's the main difference. And what we're going to do now, to begin, is we're going to have our students come forward and demonstrate, using a straight edge ruler, how to measure, label, and name their own squares based on the characteristics that we have here. Because squares can be larger or smaller, as long as they have 4 sides, all of the same length. So let me see, the first student to come forward and demonstrate how to draw a square will be Dan. Come and join me at the front of class, please. And what I'm going to give to Dan is this straight edge here. Dan will use this straight edge to demonstrate how to draw, label, and name her own square. So Dan, how many sides must your square have? 4 sides. Okay, so let's see some sides for Dan's square. But make sure it goes all the length, so all sides are the same length. Perfect. Okay, so what does Dan now need to do with her points? What do our points need to name our square? References. So Dan, what will your references be? We have point D, okay? And point D will travel to point O. Okay, so how many sides so far? 1 side. How many points? 2 points, so we need some more sides. And Dan will demonstrate how to do 4 sides, all of equal length. Excellent, Dan. So that's 2 sides. And what will our next point be called? We've got D-O-N. Okay. Now for our next side. Brilliant. And then our next point will be, so we have D-O, maybe W now. Yes, I think down is spelling her name. Brilliant, Dan. Well done. Okay, so how many sides can you see now, guys? 4. Are all the sides of the same length? Therefore, what shape do we have? Square. And Dan has also labelled all of the points or the right angles to her square. So Dan, can you now demonstrate how to give your square its name? So we've got square, S, Q, U, A, R, E. And then using the points to name the square. Square D, which Down has used to spell her name. So all together, guys, square, D-O-W-N. Or if we prefer, square down. Down, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Down, please, guys. And what we're going to do now is we'll do one more demonstration with a slightly larger straight edge, because squares don't have to be the same size. They can be bigger and they can be smaller, as long as they share the two common characteristics: 4 sides and all sides same length. So now we have another straight edge, but now I need another student. Pang Pon, come and join me at the front of class, please. So now it's Pang Pon's turn to demonstrate how to draw his square. So Pang Pon, shall we use this space here so you can stand there? And then here's your straight edge. So how many sides does Pang Pon need to draw for his square, guys? 4 sides. So there's side 1. Very good. And now we need another square. That's another side here. Brilliant. And now another side going down the next way. So we can do a side from here to there. Because what we can do, we can draw all the sides before we reference our points. How many sides so far?
3.
How many more do we need?
1.
We need 1 more to complete the square, and Pang Pon will show us how. Excellent, Pang Pon. So I'll borrow the straight edge. Okay, so how many sides has Pang Pon drawn? 4. Are they all the same length? Yes, they are. So what shape do we have? Square. Can we name Pang Pon's square yet?
No.
Why? No references. So Pang Pon, what we need to do next is each right angle and point, give a reference. Anything you want, as long as they are all different. P, A, N, G. Brilliant. So now Pang Pon can name his square. So Pang Pon, can you write inside your square, square, P-A-N-G for Pang. S-Q, U, S-Q, U, A, R, E. And then the references to complete the name. A, N, G. Perfect. So now we've got another square which has been drawn, labelled and named correctly. Are both squares the same size?
No.
No. But they're both squares because they both have 4 sides and all sides of the same length. So let's say together, square, P, A, N, G. Or square Pang. Pang Pon, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Pang Pon, please, guys. So that was a recap of the previous lesson. What we're going to move on to look at today is we're going to look at something called perimeter. Does anybody know what perimeter means? Okay, perimeter is the area all around a 2D shape. If we have to travel the distance around a 2D shape, such as a square, that is known as the perimeter. So what we're going to be doing in today's lesson is we're going to be looking at the perimeter of rectangles. And by looking at the length and the width of the sides, we can learn how to calculate the perimeter of rectangles correctly. So what we've got now is a PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe listen to, and also practice speaking of the perimeter of rectangles. So let's turn to look at our TV screen, please, guys. So now let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation, perimeter of rectangles, lesson 1. And here in the picture, you can see an example of various rectangles. How many rectangles can you see? 6. How many sides does each rectangle have?
4.
Are all sides the same length? Only opposite sides the same length, you see? So this is what differentiates squares and rectangles. A rectangle is a shape with 4 sides and opposite sides of equal length. The perimeter of a rectangle is the distance around the outside of it. So what we need to do, we need to look at the width and the length of each of the sides of a rectangle. And by calculating the total distance of the width and the length, we can come up with the perimeter. Okay, guys? So let's look at how we can calculate. What is the width of the sides of this rectangle? 5 centimeters. Okay? What is the length of this side of the rectangle? Okay? So this rectangle is 5 centimeter width, 8 centimeter length. We find the perimeter by measuring the sides and adding them up. So, 5 centimeters plus 8 centimeters equals, correct, 13 centimeters. But so far, we've only calculated the distance of 2 sides. How many sides is there? 4. So what we need to do is we've only calculated the distance of 2 of the sides. That means we need to double this number to account for the other 2 sides. So after we've got the distance of the width and the length, 5 plus 8 equals 13 centimeters. 13 centimeters times 2 equals 26. 26 what? Centimeters. Okay, so now you've worked out the perimeter of this rectangle. Let's do it together. 5 centimeters plus 8 centimeters equals. Okay, so if this is 5 centimeters, this side here, we know the opposite side is also 5 centimeters. So 13 plus 5, 18, okay? And now we know this side here is 8 centimeters. So the opposite side is also 8 centimeters. So our fourth side, 18 plus 8 centimeters equals 26 centimeters. You see how by knowing these 2 sides, we automatically know the length and the width of these 2 sides because they're the same. Therefore, the perimeter of this rectangle is 26 centimeters. Understand, guys? Okay, let's do one more together. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? So let's look at the distance, the length of the sides. What's the length of this side here? 12 centimeters. And the width? Okay, so step 1, 12 centimetres plus 7 centimetres
equals 19 centimeters.
equals 19 centimetres. What do we have to do next? We still need to get 19 times 2 is correct. So we've got 19 centimetres, but only 2 of the sides. To get the perimeter of all 4 sides, we need to double that number. 19 centimetres times 2 equals 38 is correct. Let's do it manually together. 12 plus 7 equals 19. So 19 plus another 12, 31. And then we've got the fourth side here of 7 centimetres. So 31 plus 7 equals 38. The perimeter of this rectangle is 38 centimetres. Okay, so the formula for doing it, length times width, length plus width, and take that number times by 2. Any questions, guys? Okay, that was brilliant. Very well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can begin to learn about the perimeter of shapes. The perimeter is the total distance all the way around a shape, such as a rectangle. And the formula for working out the perimeter is always length plus width times by 2. And coming up, we've got a board exercise for our students to practice further. But before then, guys, time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we can begin by doing some rotations. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent, guys. And now we can do some stretches. So 5 to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And now we can do 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Now shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. Shake it up. Shake it down. Shake it out again. Shake it back. Shake it left. And shake it right. Brilliant. And now we can take our right hand, find our left foot, and take our left hand to find our right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. And to finish, we will do 5 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So now we're going to do a board exercise for our students to work out the perimeter of rectangles. So let's write that title on the board first. Perimeter, P-E-R-I-M-E-T-E-R. E, T, E, R. Of rectangles. Yes. So we can say that phrase all together. Perimeter of rectangles. And the formula is always length plus width times 2. Okay? And that is always the formula to find out the perimeter. For example, let me do a board demonstration before I ask my students to come and work some out. Let's do a rough diagram of a rectangle. What shall we say is the length of this side, guys? How many centimeters? Doesn't have to be exact, just 10. And what shall we say the width is of that side? Has to be shorter. If the length is 10 centimeters here, what will the width be in centimeters? 6 centimeters. Okay. So we've got length, 10 centimeters, width, 6 centimeters. So let's work out the perimeter. Length, 10 centimeters plus width, 6 centimeters equals 16 centimeters. So what we need to do now is work out side 3 and side 4. But we already know this side is 10 centimeters. This side is 6 centimeters. So all we need to do is the number we have times by 2. 16 times 2 equals 32. So now we have our answer. The perimeter of this rectangle, 32 centimeters. Because we've worked out the length and the width by adding them together and then timesing by 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give some of my students a marker pen and invite them to come forward. I'll draw a rectangle with some length and width on each side, and then using the formula we've got, I will ask them to work out the perimeter. So let's see, who can go first? Go first today. Pak Bung, come and join me at the front of class. Pak Bung can work out the perimeter of the rectangle first. So stand here for me, please, Pak Bung. So what we need is a rectangle. Okay, so this time, the length of the rectangle is 12 centimeters. The width of the rectangle, 4 centimeters. Pak Bung, can you, using the formula that we've looked at now, can you work out the perimeter of this rectangle? So first of all, 12 centimeters plus 4 centimeters. Equals 12 plus 4, guys? 16 is correct. 16 centimeters. Okay, so now we need to get the length and the width of these two sides here. But we already know. All we need to do is take 16 centimeters and times it by 2. So 16 times 2 equals 32 centimeters. So can you write inside your rectangle the total perimeter? 32 centimeters. So notice how the perimeter of both rectangles is the same. Even though they're different shapes, 12 centimeters by 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters. By working out the length and the width together, we can work out the total perimeter. Pak Bung, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Pak Bung, please, guys. So teachers, you can see the activity that we're doing in our classroom now. You can pause the video and do the same activity with your own students. And remember to choose a different student each time to come forward and work out the measurements of the perimeter of the rectangle that you've drawn. We're going to carry on playing here now. So let's see, our next student. Pat, come and join me at the front of class, please, Pat. And Pat can stand here for me. Okay, so now we need another rectangle. Let's see, the rectangle this time will go here. This time, the length of the rectangle is 8 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So what's the first thing Pat needs to do with the length and the width of the rectangle, guys? 8 centimeters plus 5 centimeters. So 8 plus, or 8 centimeters, you can use the unit too. 8 centimeters plus 5 centimeters equals how many centimeters? 13 centimeters. 13 centimeters. Okay, so what does Pat need to do next to work out the total perimeter? Times 2. We take 13 and times it by 2. 13 times 2? 26. Yes? 26 centimeters. Okay, is that correct? Is that correct? Yes. 8 plus 5 is 13. If we add another 8, 21. If we add another 5, 26. So Pat, you can write inside the rectangle 26 centimeters. Brilliant. High five for Pat and a big round of applause. Well done, Pat. So let's do a couple more before you guys have to do your own worksheet activity. And our next student will be Parel. Come and join me at the front, please, Parel. I'm about to draw you a rectangle. Okay, so this is quite a long rectangle. Let's see, we'll have 16 centimeters, but it's not very wide. 3 centimeters. I agree, Dan. Well done. So we have length, how many centimeters? Width, how many centimeters? So, Prao, can you show the calculation to work out the perimeter? 3 centimeters equals 19 centimeters. Okay, so we've worked out 2 sides on 19 centimeters. What do we need to do next? Times it by 2. So 19 times 2 is how many centimeters? 19 times 2 equals 38 centimeters. Brilliant. You see, that's how we work out the perimeter every time. So, Prao, can you write the answer inside your rectangle for me, please? 38 centimeters. It's always length plus width times by 2. And in this case, we get 38 centimeters. Prao, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Prao, please, guys. Let's do one more before our worksheet activity. And this time, I would like Net to come and join me at the front of class, please. So Net, you can stand here, and I will draw your rectangle here. Okay, so what's the length of the rectangle, guys? and a width. So Net, can you show how to work out the perimeter of this rectangle? First of all, we do 10 plus 7. 10 plus 7, 7 centimeters equals 17 centimeters. 10 plus 7 equals 17. Centimeters. cm for centimeters. Now we have 17 centimeters, guys. What do we need to do next? Times 2. So 17 times 2, 30. 34. 34 what? Always remember the unit, cm, centimeters. Perfect, Net. So you can write your answer inside your rectangle. 34 centimeters. cm. Excellent. Well done, Net. So all together, guys, the perimeter of this rectangle, 34 centimeters. Net, that was brilliant. Big round of applause for Net, please, guys. And now it's time for our worksheet activity. So teachers, make sure every student in your class gets their own worksheet. And what we've got is a series of rectangles on the worksheet. What we want our students to do is, using the knowledge they've learned in this lesson, with the formula length times width, length plus width times 2, work out the perimeter of each of the rectangles and write the answers in the spaces provided. But what's the first thing to do, guys? Write your names on top. And give our students around 10 to 12 minutes for this activity and just help them with anything they need. So Net, this one's for you. You're welcome. Pat, for you. You're welcome. Nadia, for you. You're welcome. Chu, for you. You're welcome. Down, here's yours. You're welcome. Prel, for you. You're welcome. Lakau, for you. You're welcome. And Bangpon, you're welcome. So names on top first, guys, and then have a look at each of the rectangles. Each rectangle will have a length and a width. Using the formula length plus width, and then take that answer and multiply it by 2, will give you your perimeter. So for example, number 1, 9 yards, 5 yards. So 9 plus 5, 14 plus 2 times 2, 28 yards. Yeah, that one I think is not, this is 12 and 6. 12 and 6. Yeah, 1 or 2 of them aren't quite clear. Number 2 is 12 and 6. So we've got 12 and then 6 here. This is 9 and 5. Correct, well done. But don't forget your unit 2, so 28. YD is yards. 6. Yes. So number 2, 12 plus 6. 12 plus 6, 18 times 2. Perfect. And your unit of measurements, whatever it is. Yards, yes. 4 inches, IN is inch. 4 times 1. 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1, 5 times 2. 10. There you go. Same formula every time, guys. Length plus width times 2. 11. 11 foot. FT is foot. The measurements, the units are different every time. We've used centimetres, cm. You might have ft for foot, in for inches, or yd for yards. The main thing to concentrate on are the figures. 1 inch. So 4 inches, 1 inch. 4 plus 1, 5 times 2. Perfect. I know on the worksheet it's not quite clear for some reason, but the main thing is that you get to use the numbers. Length plus width times 2. So Pat, how about this one? What do you think? 10 yards plus 5 yards. 10 plus 5? 15. 15 times 2. And then you'll get your perimeter. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 times 2. Not 15 plus 2, 15 multiplied by 2. So 15 twice. Yes. 6 inches and 13 inches. So 13 plus 6. Okay, you see every time the same. Like 4 plus 11, 15 times 2, 30. Perfect.
Number 9 is 4, 2 and 3.
I think this should be, that looks 5, because it'll be longer. So 2 and 5. If it was 3, it would be shorter. So 5 plus 2, 7 times 2 equals 7 times 2. 14, well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet exercise where they had to demonstrate their understanding of the perimeter of rectangles by looking at the length and width of each one, adding them together and then timesing by 2 to work out the total area, the perimeter of each rectangle. My students here all did an excellent job, so well done, guys. And that's all we've got time for today, so we hope you found it interesting and enjoyed the lesson. And remember, the formula for working out perimeter of rectangles is length plus width times by 2. That way on every occasion. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Bye-bye. See you again soon.